Hello guys, we are back with our series Battleforge slash Nimble versus Barbarians. Okay, so Barbarians are the tougher faction that is found in the north. It's a pretty honest faction, they will just charge you and try to kill you. So let's get right into it. So the Barbarian Thrall is the weak one. They have adrenaline, high resolve, and they will just charge you. They have, or they can have, throwing weapons, 40% chance. And yeah, they have high hit points, but bad armor and high resolve, so you will probably kill them before they die. Again, high volume of low damage attacks. They have cleaver, club, and militia spears. So Nimble especially doesn't like the cleavers and the spears, and also doesn't want to do anything with the ranged attacks. The Barbarian Reavers are the stronger version, much more hit points, higher defense, higher resolve. These guys have the spiked maces and skull hammers that also the Chosen have. They also have cleavers and the hammer axes and the axe hammer. So also they have javelins and throwing spears. Dangerous opponents by themselves, can come in large numbers. The two-handed guys who have the spiked mace and the skull hammer are dangerous versus Battleforge because of the high armor ignore. If you have fur padding, you are fine. That's why I like the fur padding. So you're not getting injured on the first hit by these weapons. They have very low base damage, but again, really high armor penetration. So Battleforge does not like these ones. But Nimble doesn't like the cleavers, basically. So versus them, I would say it's roughly even. Depends on what kind of weapon they have. And the next ones are the Chosen. Chosen have even more resolve, hit points, and defense. They have Battleforge as well. These guys are roughly equal to one of your brothers. So they are kind of like, has 1% chance of becoming a champion. They are kind of on the level of a Hedge Knight or Executioner, roughly. They are very dangerous opponents. And because of their high stats, but also they come in large numbers usually. Okay, they have the Rusty Warblade, the Rusty Axe, the two-handed Skull Hammer, and the two-handed Spiked Mace with Crippling Strikes Executioner. That's the nasty thing. So the Rusty Warblade is a cleaver, and the Heavy Axe is just an axe. These things will destroy Nimble, and Battleforge can kind of tank to a certain degree, but the two-handed Skull Hammer and the Spiked Mace will destroy Battleforge because of the high armor ignore. So depending on what kind of weapon you have, the first option threatens Nimble more, the second option threatens Battleforge more. In general, if you can take the first hit, most of the time it's already an injury, second hit will probably almost kill you, third hit might kill you. So you can't take many hits, doesn't matter if you are Battleforged or Nimble. These guys do so much damage and hurt you so much that you can't take a lot of hits versus them. Also, they are hard to kill, so yeah, you need good bros in order to deal with them. You can try to control them with AoE control, try to shoot them with throwers and crossbows to do damage versus the Battleforge. Try to injure them before they do anything. But yeah, really tough to deal with. I don't know if Battleforge versus Nimble, I would say it doesn't matter overall. You can't really tank these guys. The Barbarian King is their leader, comes with a nice contract, has a 10% chance of becoming a champion. This guy is just a better Chosen, is even nastier in combat, and has either the cleaver or the axe, so this guy is really dangerous, really threatening to Nimble. He will hurt Battleforge as well, but Nimble just there's a high chance that the double hit from the cleaver will already kill you if you are Nimble. So these guys, Nimble really doesn't want to fight versus them. I wouldn't recommend putting a Nimble guy in front of this guy. They're really, really, really nasty. Then we have the drummers. They are support characters. They do the drums, which reduces the fatigue. And the Beastmasters, they have whip. They will whip their armored Unholds and Frost Unholds, so the armored Unholds and Frost Unholds don't get wild. If they are not getting whipped, the Unholds, so if you get in combat with these guys, they will stop whipping the Unholds, and the Unhold will become wild and will attack the nearest targets that can be you or the barbarians, but they will fight their own. So getting on top of these guys and get them into combat is a way of making the fight chaotic and kind of gives you the option of letting the trolls fight potentially for you. The thing is, they have anticipation on dodge with high range defense, so like it's really unlikely. Also, they have high hit points and good armor, so like it's really unlikely to shoot these guys down. That is sorry for that. That is not a good option. Yeah, then we have the armored Unhold, basically a normal Unhold with a little bit of armor, not too special. Armored Frost Unholds are really, really nasty because they have, there we go, 400 body armor, which is wrong, it's 490. Yeah, extra 90 natural armor, okay, yeah, it's 490 body armor. Interesting, plus 40 initiative on the first 2 rounds. It's kind of funny. And they do more damage. Again, these guys are really nasty because you have to deal with their 500 armor before you do anything. And you have to treat them like Unholds. So the big barbarian camps usually contain Rivas, Chosen, Armored Unholds, maybe Barbarian King. I mean, you can get the Barbarian King only from the contract, but like the big Barbarian camps are really sketchy because they have high volume of low damage attacks, which is actually not true. Like that's the thing. Like everything, Barbarians do a shit ton of damage and are hard to kill on the other way. So this faction is much more stronger than the Nomads and the Brigands. It's much stronger. Of course, I should mention the Madman comes in the Icy Cave. This guy has a cleaver, so it will eat Nimble bros. Best weapons versus him are hammers, 2-handed hammers and maces. The mace will 4-shot him if every attack hits. If you miss one, you will need 5 attacks. Same with the hammer. Stagger and Daze, both are useful. If this guy has a high roll damage cleaver, will destroy your Nimble bros. Put your best brother versus him, so you don't get eaten. And of course, they have dogs, which are, they are a little bit more tanky than the normal dogs. Overall, I would say they have throwing weapons. This faction, the Thralls and the Reavers have throwing weapons, and they use them, high damage throwing weapons. So they can do a decent damage to Battleforge, but they do even more damage to Nimble bros. And Nimble bros really don't want to face the cleavers and the axes. So overall, if you have Battleforge with Steelbrow and the Fur padding, you can, if you're lucky, can take a hit from the 2-handed Skullhammer or Mace and not get injured on the first hit. And that's actually, if you have the Fur padding, you can tank a lot of hits because the base damage from these weapons is low. They just have high armor penetration, and you can reduce the armor penetration by 33% if you have the Fur padding on your Battleforge bros. So yeah, Battleforge can kind of, with the right adjustments, be okay versus them, although this is gonna kill you relatively fast. And again, the axes and the Warblades will destroy Nimble faster than Battleforge. Versus the Thralls, they have cleavers and militia spears, so with throwing weapons, so low volume, a high volume of low attacks. So Nimble is worse than Battleforge versus the Thralls. The Reavers are kind of 50-50. I would say Battleforge tends to do better versus them because of the, again, higher volume of attack. And these guys don't have crippling strike, so even if you get hit with a mace or a hammer, maybe you don't get injured. The Chosens, they will kill you fast no matter what, if you are Battleforge or Nimble. Again, 50-50 on the weapon loadout, depends on the weapon loadout. These are support characters. Armored Unholds. Unholds are kind of like it's a DPS check, and Nimble can take less hits from the Armored Unholds because they have high damage and potentially high volume because they can attack twice. But Nimble is less likely to get injured by the Unholds, even though they have crippling strikes, so they tend to injure Nimble bros, even Nimble bros relatively fast. Battleforge, I think, on average can tank a couple more hits because of the high armor, but yeah, again, like versus the Unholds is roughly 50-50, I would say, between Forge and Nimble. And yeah, Nimble is terrible versus the Madman because of a Fame Cleaver. That's not good. Don't put your Nimble against him. This guy will also destroy Battleforge if he hits them. But yeah, that's another thing. Same with the Barbarian King. Will destroy any Nimble bro quick and no hurry. And then he berserks in killing frenzies. And yeah, you have a bad time. Yeah, overall, I would say it's pretty even on the question Battleforge versus Nimble. They are really dangerous opponents, all of them. Because they have high offensive output, and they have also high defense, right? They have high hit points with high resolve, so Fearsome doesn't do much versus them. High hit points in combination with Battleforge on the Chosen means they can tank a lot of hits, even from big two-handed weapons and Willis weapons before they go down. So this is kind of a damage race, and yeah. Also, they have adrenaline, so it doesn't matter if you are the fastest pro, if you are a fencer with high initiative or something, they just adrenaline and go before you. So these guys, super strong, maybe one of the toughest faction in the game. I would say it's the second toughest faction in the game. And yeah, hard to deal with. Wouldn't really recommend fighting these guys before you have a good company with good equipment, especially the Chosens, like the Thralls and the Reavers you can fight earlier, but the big camps, they are really messy. Tanking down Unholds with your Indom tanks is advised. Yeah, and overall, they will do high damage versus Nimble and Forge, depending on their weapons and their gear. Yeah, this is it. Guys, maybe you have some thoughts. You can write that down in the comments. If you are a newer player, maybe you learned something. If not, I hope you find it at least entertaining. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.